business when the spa just closed 3 years ago now.
Right.
I cannot look at them and this is not right. So I decided to hire someone. I hired a coach and to dig in. Why did the spa not work?
Right.
And I wanted to find out because I was like, something obviously was missing because I felt, first of all, guilty because what I love is really opening businesses and then when they really start to work really, really, really well, then I get bored with it. I want to do something else. So people kind of looked at me like I was, always like wanting to open a different business and they're like, why can't she stick with something?
Right.
Well, and this is what I found. I was like, as a business coach, that's what I get to do all the time. And I get to help people. So with a coach, we figured out that I had one of the fundamentals not down and that made the big difference. You see, a hair salon and a spa are not the same thing. Same industry, and yet very different industry. One is necessity, the other one is luxury. And appealing to your ideal client is not the same way. So that's when I decided, I was like, oh my gosh. I was so happy then I discovered that. And then I put my entire program together and I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't ever want anybody to feel like a failure like I did, because as women, I feel like we really do. Like we don't take the business as failure. It had nothing to do with the business. It had everything to do with me. Does that make sense?
Right. So the fundamental, what are you saying the fundamental that was missing? What did you learn that was missing?
Yeah. For me, the one who was missing was my the pain point, the avatar, my ideal client was not the same than it was in the hair salon, and the pain point then I fixed was not the same neither. With hair, you just help people, to look beautiful. With a spa, you go more into a state of, having them being more relaxed, and it was more into a relaxation, a luxury. In the spa, we were doing nails as well. So the nails and the hair, we really figured out were pretty similar, but the facial and the massage were actually two different things who made it being so much different.
Right. So what is what you like to help people with now? What is their pain point that you are trying to solve for them?
So they don't have enough leads. They don't have enough clients. They're struggling in their business to grow. They have been, they know their trade so well, and they're so good at it, and yet they haven't found a way of getting the client. So one of the things that we help them with is, how do we put your messaging together? How do we talk to people? How do we put a pitch together, like the 30-second pitch when you go to a network? And really, for me, one of the tools that I use is, and then I give my clients is, how do we use public speaking as a way of generating lead? Because you see, there's a difference between a speaking coach and a business coach who does speaking. And the big difference is truly one is just a beautiful speech, and the other one is really like, how do we convert the audience into leads and clients?
Right. So my audience out there, a lot of them are probably 50 plus. Do you think it's ever too late? Because some of those people out there have a dream, and my show is never too late. Is it ever too late to think, say they have a dream of starting a business? Maybe it's photography, maybe it's to do with animals, whatever it is it too late if you're 70 or 80 and you want to start a business?
I don't think there's an age on that. When you know you want this and you want it bad enough, I say get someone who can really help you to concentrate on your trade and what you know how to do and what you want to do versus trying to figure it out, because that's the difference. A lot of time people are like, oh, I can't, it's going to take me 15 years. Well, yeah, it'll take you 15 years if you do it on your own, if you do it with YouTube video, if you do it, with Google search. However, if you have someone by your side who's going to say, hey, in the next 3 months, we can do this, and in 3 months, you'll have your business going. And sometimes it's as simple as that. but we don't think that way. We want to think. We have been led into think it's so complicated, and that's the part that why I say we've been lied to.
Right.
I have someone that I'm just starting to work with, and I actually asked her yesterday because I knew she was I definitely knew that she was on a certain age range, but I didn't know because she looks really young and she's full of energy. And I asked her actually yesterday on our Zoom call. I said, "Can I ask how old you are?" And she's 72 years old.
Oh.
And we started from scratch. She had nothing. We went through all the gifts that she has, and she didn't even have a concept of a business. She was like, "Katia, I have a purpose, and I've not met my purpose." She's widow now, and she said, "I want to do something and leave a legacy." And we went through all the job that she had, all of her gifts, and we are literally 3 weeks away of launching her first service.
Beautiful. I love that story. I love that story because at her age of 72 now, it's about leaving a legacy, and she's not sitting at home or just doing nothing, but she is out there actively creating a legacy for her life because it isn't too late, and that's beautiful. Right. Yeah. I love it. So, you know what? Tell my audience how they can get a hold of you. We're almost out of time, which is amazing because that went so quickly. So tell me how they can get a hold of you and about your little free gift for them.
Sure. So, if you want more leads, or if you're like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to speak on stage, but I don't know what," I prepared 2 freebies actually for your audience because I didn't know which one they would like the best, right? Because if they don't have a business, they may be interested more into getting us on a stage and telling their story, right? So one of the first gift is society-leads.com, THIRTY leads.com. And you just go there, and then you'll get, it's a calendar and how to get leads. So if you already have a business, that's a good one. And if you're like, "No, you know what, right now, my gosh, the idea of being on the stage would be really cool to tell my story," I prepare something who's going to help you to put a talk together. And the link to that is Red Hot Talk. So Red Hot and then talk. So 2 T's.com.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And then to find me on social media, this is, it's easy. It's Katia Rave, R-A-V-E. And if you want to get me on the website, it's Rave, R-A-V-E, strategystudio.com.
Wonderful. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Katia, too, in closing. I follow her on Facebook, and she makes the most incredible meals. You are a cook, and the photography is like fantastic. I almost drool every time you put on a photo. I'm going, "Oh my gosh!" So
I love cooking.
I am so thrilled that you're coming back next week. I have one more question for you today. What do you believe is the single most important character quality that produces resilience? So you've been resilient through that failure of the spa. What is the character quality that has gotten Katia through all of it?
Humility.
Love it. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
After you fail, if I didn't have the humility to go back to see why I failed, and to have the humility of getting a coach, someone who knew more than me and who could lead me, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be on your podcast today. I wouldn't be helping all the people, all the entrepreneurs and coaches, and I help right now. And humility is really the one thing who has made me more resilient, because it shows that I don't know it all. And I need to remember that I don't know it all. And I need to constantly learn and constantly thrive to learn more from others, from books, from documentaries, from my clients, and all about humility.
That, you know what, as many times as I've asked that question, I've never had anybody answer with humility. And what I love about your story is it wasn't, you felt like a failure, but you had the humility to go back and look at it and find out what you could do different. And you were willing to get up again and try again. And I want the audience to know, if you have failed, it doesn't mean you have to stay down. Get up like Katia did. Be humble about it and try again. Because as Katia said, if she hadn't tried again, she wouldn't be here with us today. So you are a blessing. Thank you for coming in.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Lauren.
We will see you next week. Remember out there, it is never too late. It's never too late to get up one more time. It is never too late to follow your dreams. It is never too late to live a life of purpose. It is just never too late ever. We will see you back here next week.